Welcome to the Fine Tan Ranch at Cedar Creek Lake, Texas. Just learned me a little lesson. I'm going to pass that along to you. So, what do we have to share with you today? I'm going to put it back in its original state here for 1 second. I had to do something. This is the second time I've made this video. I learned something. I'm going to share it with you. I love replica air guns. I really like them a lot. And today I have the Makarov. And I'll open this up. And this is, this is, Umarex, pay attention. I don't like blister packs. I like boxes. You should give options to people, whether they get it in a box or a blister pack. All air gun companies need to pay attention to this. So, there's a little brief history inside the box of the Makarov, but we'll talk about that in a minute. And it does come with some safety stuff. Has a little, manual that it goes through various things with it. And we are going to get it out of the box. Put the box over here out of the way. And we're going to show you this side. Now, it doesn't have a lot of that white printing on it. It does have a little serial number right there. We'll come down here. Has just basic sights. I had to put a little white out on. This front sight is very, very hard to see. I'm going to tell you that. So we look at this. We'll flip it around. And you will see it from here. We'll look at the front. It has a plastic grip with some stippling on it. We'll get to that. Now, one thing I want to point out before I forget it. You can jack this slide back. Well, I say you can. Why am I having this problem? All of a sudden. And I've done something here. Oh, my bad. Got to get off safe. You can jack that slide back and let it go if you have it in the fire mode. This is not a blowback gun. I just want to mention that before I get rolling with this. That just helps push the hammer back. Very positive snap forward. So we're going to drop that hammer. And let's get on with the specs. So this is the Makarov. It's a .177 caliber. I highly recommend steel BBs in it. And it fires at about 380 feet per second. It weighs 1.5 pounds. It feels very good. And if you give me a second so I can demonstrate something else. The barrel length is 2.8 inches. The overall length is 6.25. Now, this gun was actually developed around 1948 and was put in full service in, I believe it was 51 with the Soviet Union. So this was their military sidearm. It was also used heavily by their police. Now, this gun got circulated throughout the world, and it came under various names. And they look just like this, but they're not actually a true Makarov. The actual Makarov, I can't remember where it was they manufactured these in the Soviet Union. Now, this shot the 9x19 Makarov shell. Later on in 2000 and, I think it was the late 2000, they switched it to the 9mm, I think, Parabellum. There's a YouTube channel called Forgotten Weapons. It's an absolutely fantastic wealth of information on some that were successful, some not so successful. He breaks them down, he takes them apart. He does a really good video describing all the different types of 9mm rounds. So, that being said, we're going to talk about this and look at it. You've got some running right here for pulling the slide back. It doesn't have it on the front. This thing is all steel except for the plastic grips. Again, it's got the molded sides. I put the little white dot on there. Again, I told you the side will cycle. And I'm going to talk about something I just discovered. I was mad as all get out. Yeah, I had a little bit of a temper. When this hammer's back, you have to make sure that you release the hammer slowly. You come down here and catch this little lever at the bottom, and then your slide will come out. If you try to get the slide out while the hammer's back, it will not come out. Remember that. I'm teaching you something because I almost blew a head gasket over it. Yeah, I got a little bit of a temper. At any rate, we'll go over this side. I hope you can see it. There's a safety right there. Flip it up. You got a little white dot and you're in safe. Flip it down and you're in fire mode. So we'll look at the front of it. Again, I used to have one of these. I believe mine was chambered for the 9mm Parabellum because I remember shooting it. I don't know if I bought some 9 Makarov. That was many, many years ago. And it has a little lanyard hole right here in the side. Kind of common with a lot of the older guns. And again, I would say this isn't something I'd run around banishing in the public. You might get a phone call because it looks very, very much like the original gun. And I can say that because I actually once owned the original gun. So that's about all I think I can tell you about it. There's no finger grips in there. This is all this. I don't know of a way, unless you knock out some roll pins or something, you can disassemble this on the table. So I've got a CO2 warming up right now. It's the target's put out. And then we'll give this a little run. I kind of like this. I mean, it looks very realistic. I've got larger hands. My little finger kind of catches. But it feels very comfortable to me to get it up. Again, that front sight for me is very difficult. I actually had to wear my glasses when I was shooting this last time so I could find the front sight. But I think weather conditions are a little different and it's chippy, but I'm going to heat up with CO2 and give it the best I can on the shooting review. So I really hope this turns out better than it did with my Glock. I'm going to tell you, I'll show you something very quickly. Let the wind blew them away someplace. Oh, here's one right here. I've been actually communicating with a guy that actually had one of these and told him what happened. He said it was terrible. But I did really good with the Glock that I made the video on when it was working. Again, I don't know if I'm going to replace it. To be quite honest, I threw away the blister pack at another location, and needless to say, it's gone. I can't return it back to Academy Sports because I got the receipt. I just don't have the packaging. What are y'all doing? So, dog's acting stupid. So, let me wrap this up. Show it to you very, very closely one more time. Crazy. I don't know what they're doing. Playing for once. And there goes Brock, 90 miles an hour. But at any rate, we'll look it over. We will put together a shooting video. I know it's cold. It's not a good idea to do that during for CO2, but we had pretty good luck with it. So let me wrap this up, get everything lined up, and I will be right back.